Pros and cons, reflections on marriage with a poor girl. Marriage is one of the most important decisions we make in life. He binds two souls together, promising support, love and overcoming life's challenges together. However, when it comes to choosing a partner, many are faced with the question, is it worth marrying a poor girl? Let's look at this issue from different angles and consider it from an emotional perspective. When you fall in love, money may seem insignificant. At the moment when the heart says yes, material circumstances may seem secondary. Romantic ideals can overshadow public expectations, and in such moments we are ready to do anything for love. Poverty should not be an obstacle to being with someone you love. Marrying a poor girl can be an expression of real care and empathy. When you choose to be with a person who is facing financial difficulties, you show your willingness to support them in difficult times. This is the moment when you can show your true self and willingness to share all aspects of his life with your partner. However, the decision to marry a poor girl can also cause fear and uncertainty. Financial difficulties can create tension in a relationship, especially if there is no clear plan to overcome them. Fear of the future and uncertainty associated with financial difficulties can create a tense family environment. The most important question to ask yourself before deciding to marry a poor girl is, can we overcome all the difficulties together? If there is mutual support, love and strength in a relationship, then money ceases to be the main factor. Instead, shared solidarity and the ability to overcome difficulties become key factors. Marrying a poor girl is a decision that should not be made based on the financial situation alone. Instead, it is important to consider shared values, willingness to support each other, and the ability to overcome difficulties together. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend is rich in money, it matters how rich you are in love, respect, and the ability to support each other in difficult times. There is no point in denying the serious influence of money in a modern family. The fairy tales that with a sweet paradise and in a hut have long been a thing of the past. Today, life is completely different and there is nothing to do in it without money. I came across a video from a personal growth training for women. They gave advice on what kind of men you should not sleep with at all. Supposedly poor men should be avoided, because there is a risk of getting pregnant and ruining your life. You'll marry a poor man and live your whole life in a one-bedroom mortgage, working from paycheck to paycheck. Such people are not worthy of a woman's body, much less continue their kind. Are poor women worthy to continue their family? I thought, if the question of financial opportunities is so radical and women allow themselves to divide men into categories according to salary level, while not hesitating to talk about who is unworthy not only of procreation, but also of banal intimacy, then why don't we write an answer? To begin with, the institution of the family is bursting at the seams, including due to the loss of any meaning in such a union. Men cheat because they don't have enough of one woman and always want a little adventure, flirting. Women cheat no less. We collected information from various sources and came to the conclusion that female infidelity is a fairly common phenomenon and occurs no less frequently than men's. It turns out that the purpose of marriage has long been not to raise children and create capital. People simply satisfy their needs through marriage. And when there is not enough, they go to the side. That is, the days when the family was the only way to survive, the man was the breadwinner, and the woman was the keeper of the hearth, have long since sunk into oblivion. Nowadays and in our country, both men and women can earn money. Hunting mammoths is no longer necessary. In some countries, a man remains the only source of income, but their women are prohibited from working, studying, appearing on the street alone, driving a car, and so on. All doors are open to women. That is, initially, both a man and a woman can be rich or poor with the same probability. Moreover, in some areas it is even easier for a girl to earn money. At the time of entering into a relationship and having children, a woman should at least be no poorer than her man, because excuses from the series, "I'm a mom, I couldn't work," or "How am I going to earn money with a child in my arms, I am in a vulnerable position," do not work here. Before pregnancy, women and men are on equal terms. Women are not deprived of their rights, which means that they have the same opportunities as men. If you study, develop and strive, you can become rich. If something does not work out, there is not enough intelligence, talent, perseverance, then poverty will become a natural result. It's the same as with men. Therefore, reproaching a man for not earning 80,000 at the time of marriage, reproach yourself too, because you were on equal terms. Provision of a woman during pregnancy and maternity leave. This is the button that all women, without exception, press. I am pregnant, I have a child, I cannot work and therefore need to provide for my husband. Or let him sit with the child, and I'll go to work. Well, the argument is strong, I completely agree here. Motherhood is hard work. Not as heavy as in the days of our mothers and grandmothers, when diapers were washed by hand every 5 minutes, there were no diapers, it was impossible to plug the child with a tablet, and cooking without modern technology turned into a quest. Despite the fact that my husband was at work from 8 to 5. But nevertheless, it would be very stupid to argue with the fact that a woman is in a vulnerable position. Only if the girl was as well off as she wants her husband to be, she would have savings and assets, because she is a responsible mother and took care of herself and the child during pregnancy, right? And if she did not do this, then an incident may happen, a man may get hit by a car or have a heart attack. Ugh, of course, but let's be realistic. And then what? A woman after the age of 3 for a child. After leaving the decree, women found a new justification for their financial needs. The child requires a lot of money, he needs to be dressed, shod, and led to the section. You need to walk and study with him, so a man should work and provide, and a woman with a child. Again, I'm not even trying to argue, I completely agree with almost everything. Of course, we will put out of our minds the fact that our mothers and grandmothers managed to work a shift at the factory, pick up the child from kindergarten, take a walk, go to the store, read fairy tales, feed, put. But it's fair to say that women had a hard time, life was active, there was no time to sit on Instagram. You can't get your nails done. You can't sit in a cafe with a friend for 3 hours. But maybe the problem is not that the man does not earn, but that your husband is defective. The father can also pick up the child from kindergarten or school, take a walk with him, work out, go to a circle or section. But you probably cut him off on the advice of a guru from personal growth training for women. Maybe your idea of what a normal man he is has been slightly distorted. It is easier to live with someone who hears and listens, understands and supports, helps and participates in the life of his woman and his child than with someone who put money on the table and went on a spree to the baths, friends and other women. They drew clear boundaries and gave advice, you can sleep with this, you need to, but block this one, he's a beggar. Why can't you date poor girls? And so, girls with incomes up to $500 a month are not even suitable for dating. Do not waste time on them, because these girls are clearly not educated and do not shine with intelligence. Contact her, then you will suffer all your life. She can't do anything herself, everyone owes her, she will watch stories and Insta all day, demand an apartment, a car, travel from her husband. And when he doesn't get it, he gets divorced and goes in search of a normal man. She has nothing but her body. Girls with incomes from $500 to $1,000. The middle class. As a rule, these are quite interesting girls. There is a lot to talk about with them, but their self-esteem is greatly overestimated. Conversations from the series, I'm a girl and I earn $700, a man if he can't earn at least $2,000, not a man. There is a distance from a poor life, but a lack of finances for a high-level life, which she will strive for at the expense of a partner. You can sleep with them, but carefully, it's better to continue looking for a normal one. If a girl's income is from $1,000 to $3,000, then you can marry such a woman. You guarantee a normal existence for your child, even if something happens to you. If a man is responsible and he is really worried about the future of his children, then only such girls can be allowed to give birth. Income over $3,000. This is a good option. The girl is self-sufficient, independent, self-confident. Her need for good clothes, food and atmosphere is satisfied, so she goes to a new level, family. She wants children to whom she can pass on her knowledge and experience, which she expects from her husband. Such girls prefer responsible and enthusiastic guys. He may not be rich, but he is engaged in an interesting business, studying, developing, ready for dialogue, in a hurry to come to the rescue, wants a child and is ready to spend time with him. Income or status? No matter how much we mock this topic, it will always be relevant. Girls from poor families dream of marrying a rich man because they are desperate. They no longer believe in themselves, they have been taught that the only way to get out of poverty is a successful marriage. Fairy tales about a poor girl and a rich prince do not come true so often and often end sadly. The girls say that they have never been appreciated in such a relationship, they are just beautiful dolls that they bought, hence the disrespect. Reminders of where you were picked up and where you were pulled from can become familiar. The same thing happens with guys who married girls who did not match financially and in status. For many years, and more often forever, this discrepancy and reproaches persist in such families in any successful case.